we could be alone between city lights. We don't have to hide. I wanna go, do you wanna follow? There's something in the air, I can't explain it, but it's there. Ain't nobody gonna find us in our secret love affair. I don't wanna have to hide no more, it shouldn't be unfair. I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? I can't understand why we can't hold hands, but they don't know what we have is real love. Aren't you sick and tired of having to hide? I know a place, do you wanna follow? There's something in the air, I can't explain it, but it's there. Ain't nobody gonna find us in our secret love affair. I don't wanna have to hide no more, it shouldn't be unfair. I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Livestream. It is Monday night, and it is time for us to come together and talk about FPV. Oh, did y'all see that reel that Johnny put up? I was just thinking about Johnny before the stream. Did you see that reel that he put up of shots from Red Notice? I get that guy's a real freaking rock star. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you now. Think carefully before you answer. Who's bigger in FPV? Who's like bigger, Johnny or Steele? Ooh, we should start a poll. Now, before I start the poll, don't answer yet. Hang on. I mean, think about it. Let's see. Who is this? Just word it exactly like that. Because here's the thing. There's no question. The Steel is like way up there. Is that it? Is that it? Do I need to? I don't want another option. I don't want another option. That's good. That's good. Can I delete the option? Yeah, okay, hang on. There, two options. Steel is clearly like more of a, I would say, like a pure FPV pilot, right? He is the like the archetypal FPV pilot, freestyle pilot for sure in a lot of ways. Johnny got to work with The Rock. Johnny is out there. He's Mr. Frickin' Hollywood. You know? That's tough. That's tough. Let's see how the let's see. Yeah. Yeah, Johnny, it's because Jackalope, it's because Johnny isn't making YouTube videos. He's out there with A-list stars making movies. B-Man FPV points out that Johnny does have mad talent, but he gets a production team to edit the balls off his shots. It's true. It's true. I wish I wish that I could see Johnny freestyle like he used to in the old days. You know, he's making very different content. He's making very... Johnny 5 says, who's bigger in FPV or who's bigger in Hollywood? Exactly. Exactly. That's, I think, how you answer that question. Steele is the Tony Hawk and Michael Jordan of FPV, says Mike Crabtree. There's something to be said for being the biggest fish in a small pond. And there's something to be said for being the fish that made it out of the pond into a much bigger pond. And now you're a small fish. Do you think that Johnny is the most... What's the word? Do you think that Johnny is the most known, desirable, whatever, FPV pilot in Hollywood? When a Hollywood director says, oh yeah, let's get some of those drone shots, who should we get? Is Johnny's name the only one they can think of or that their assistant can think of? Something to be said. Steele, yeah, then again, Steele still gives us freaking FPV content. Johnny! Don't forget about where you came from, Johnny. You're still Johnny from the block, right? I want to see some of that juicy stuff way back when. Put your 5-inch shoes back on. Give us a freestyle edit, my man. Oh, it's cool. I don't want to see Dubai. I don't want to see London or Paris. I want to see your backyard. I want to see you fly out of an apartment window like that one scene you did in Atlanta. I want to see you fly out of a high-rise in Miami. I don't care. I just want to see you fly a tree spot and do some of them sick rewinds. Come back, Johnny. Johnny, come back. He's too busy being he was always on the way out of FPV. That's the thing about him. From the moment he started flying, he was aiming for big things. I feel. That's my take. I think he had a plan, and he freaking pulled it off. I can't believe it. So, anyway. Oh, there's Nurk also. Nurk straddling the worlds. It's true. Of course, I gotta say, Nurk got to work with Mark Rober. And, like, obviously, it's anybody's dream to... Rock, don't take this personal, Rock. It's anybody's dream to work with The Rock. The Rock is probably one of the most awesome seeming humans on the planet. For someone to be so successful, so good looking, so just amazing in every way, and also apparently just be a nice person. Screw you, Dwayne Johnson. What's wrong with you? Why? How do you... It's him and Ryan Reynolds. Just got all the... They just... When they rolled their character sheet, they just rolled 10s. And the DM went, fine. Just 10s across the board. The Rock and Ryan Reynolds. Good looking, funny, rich, successful actors. But I would personally, if you said, would you rather go make a video with Mark Rober or make a video with The Rock, I would take Mark Rober. That would be like the wrong move for my career and my personal success. I don't know. But I'm more jealous of Nurk getting to meet Mark Rober than I am of Johnny getting to fly for Red Notice. There we go. Anyway, at least Steele gives us... Yeah, Terry Crews. Thank you. He's up there as well. Terry Crews. At least Steele still gives us content. That's for sure. All right. I don't want to find out. Please, Dwayne. I don't want to find out, like, 20 years from now that, like, have a little bit of a Cosby moment. I'm going to be so sad. Keep it on the straight. For me. All right. Welcome to Livestream, everybody. We talk about FPV here. I don't know what that all was. I don't know what that all was. Here's what's going on. This is my main screen. I will be taking your questions here in the chat. Let's get this viewer activity up. I will be answering your super chats if you want to leave a super chat, if you want to make sure I get your message. If you want to make sure I get your message, hit the $sign right down here, leave a super chat. And in addition, these beautiful people on the right side of my screen are my patrons. Patreon.com. There's a link in the video description. It's a great way for you to support what I do. $2 a month or more if you feel like I've earned it. If you're not there yet, that's fine. Just wait till you're there. One day you'll wake up and go, I should give Bardwell $2, and you'll subscribe to my Patreon and you'll get to join these people. In the meantime, they'll just hang out without you. Today's going to be a little bit of a different day. I'm going to try something different today. I have done this before, but not in a long time. I'm going to be taking after Aaron Ciotti, and I am going to be going over... Where's the button? I am going to be going over to the bench. I'm going to be working on quads, and I will be... Ooh, Anthony DiStefano wants to know, who is the best pilot technically? Vanover, Steele, or Johnny? Hold on now. I can't pass that up. Back to the bench. Vanover, Steele, or Johnny? I have an answer for that question, and I think I'm right. Here's what I say. Racing pilots are better than freestyle pilots technically, because freestyle pilots do whatever they want, and if we miss a move, we just bail out and do some other move and make it look good. Freestyle pilots do whatever we want. Racing pilots do whatever they're told, and they are forced to do it with a level of skill and precision that freestyle pilots simply do not have. So between Vanover, Johnny, and Steele, who is the best pilot technically is the question. Technically, there's no question that Vanover has to be the best pilot. Technically. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that you like him better, you like watching his flying better. Don't take that the wrong way. But there's just no question that a world-class racing pilot is... Because Vanover also freestyles, and he just blows your freaking mind, doesn't he? Technically, it has to be Vanover. So, alrighty. Johnny was a racer. He was in DRL originally. That's true. Steele was a racer way back when. Steele was a racer before racing was really a thing. Before the difficulty curve ramped up and all the good... Steele was a racer back when just everybody who was in FPV was like, okay, let's race. And he was, then all these punks came out of nowhere and started showing us what fast really looked like. And guys like Final Glide and Steele were like, I'm going to be a freestyle pilot now. Hey, look, I've got some merch. Hey, look, I've got a brand. Ha! And Steele's a great freestyle pilot, but, there's just... the racers come out and they're like, oh my God, you're 5 times faster than anyone I've ever seen. Where did you come from? How do you do that? And then you're like, oh, I don't have that. Crabtree thinks Steele could be a top racer. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think Steele would do a game of quad with Vanover. We're not going to talk about Steele the whole live stream, though. I feel like Steele does what he does, and he doesn't feel a need to compete with anybody. He just does what he does. He's damn good at it. I don't think that he is actually that into dick measuring contests. Anyway. All right. So we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to take after Aaron Ciotti, and I've got like 5 quads I need to work on, and we're going to see if we can do a little bit of this stream from the other side of the room. There we go. That's the one. I'm going to save your guys' eyeballs, and I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to head on over there. Unmute that one. Are we good? Are we good? Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, I gotta change how that's mounted. Oh, I do have. I need to mute that. I do have my. Can you hear me? Hold on. I gotta fix this. How is that done? How have I done that? Oh, look. Okay, well, that's something. Oh. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. I don't know why I even have headphones on. I'm not playing any audio. It just feels weird to do my live stream without headphones on. Okay. I do have my laptop over here, so I can still see your chat. Hello, Phantom FPV. See, I'm not lying. I can't still, and I've got my Stream Deck over here. Yeah. Boop. Oh. Can you do boop? Yeah, okay. So I can still change scenes and everything. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So, here's the first thing we're going to be working on today. This is a little Toothpick 3, and it was sent to me. I need to change out the canopy, and I need to change out the camera. So, because I'm going to be putting the... Well, I was going to put the naked Flywoo. What is it? What's the camera? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, okay. What do we got here? What camera is this? This is the Flywoo Naked. It's not the Nebula Nano. What the hell is it? I bought this. Oh, Flywoo's giving me some delightful... Everybody's ripping off Grip these days. Fine. It had to happen. Nebula Nano V2 kit. Aha! So this is the naked. This came from Flywoo, just like you see here. Holy cripes. We should take off as soon as you plug in. Please use a fan to cool it, otherwise it will be damaged. No kidding. They sell it. They nakedize it just for you. Look at that. Hang on. This is pretty cool. This is the first place I am aware of that you can buy a naked Vista all by yourself without having to do it yourself. Now this quad already has, fortunately, I'm pleased to see, it already has a naked Vista on it. This was done by the person who built this, and so I just have to swap the canopy out because it was sized for a Vista and put the camera on it. And the camera is the Caddx. Oh, it's the Polar Nano. That's the camera. So I'm going to be testing this Polar Nano. So that's what we're going to do first. It's going to be real exciting, and I'm going to keep reading your comments while I do it. Oh, let me get in the live stream chat on the Discord. Live stream chat. Hello, Discord. I didn't leave you behind. I did for a minute. Ghost Branch FPV wants to know. Ghost Branch wants to know if I'm going to be putting the FetTec G4 processor on any of the quads I'm working on. Let's talk about that G4 processor on the FetTec. I am not convinced that there's actually any advantage to that G4 processor. I'm just going to be very blunt and say that I think the FetTec G4, I think what happened is that they got a good deal on a pallet of G4s, and they made a flight controller around it. And then they were like, well, now we've got a product. Now how do we sell it to the people? And they started this marketing push with, oh, it's got faster peripherals. I'm not convinced that there's actually an advantage to the G4. But, as I said before, if all it was a FetTec KISS flight controller for whatever it is, 65 euros, then it would still be a fine deal, a fine bargain. I am, the advantage, as Ira Toft says in the Discord, the advantage is that it's in stock. You are right. I just feel a little bit skeezy about the whole, oh, it's so fast, it's so much better. I feel like that's, I feel like I'm being marketed to, and it's not entirely true. And then I get a bad taste in my mouth. I wish I could, I don't want to put this screwdriver on here and risk damaging the board on this thing, so. Crunked points out it's not KISS anymore, it is fully FetTec. Yes. I'm also trying to make sure I learn and remember I do know these things, I just oftentimes in the heat of the moment blank them and forget them and then sound dumb. So what are you going to do? That it's Alexander Fedorov, Fedor Commander, who was a guy who worked on an open source project, KISS. He was just a contributor to KISS. And now he runs the KISS FCFC and the KISS Ultra. And they're sold on the FetTec website. Not the FetTec website. It's the old Flyduino. They're sold on the Flyduino website. But he is not Flyduino, and he's just sold on the Flyduino website. And then there's FetTec, which is run by Felix, which runs different firmware than Alex's firmware on the KISS Ultra and the FCFC. I think I got it. I think I got it. So here's the thing, Ghost Branch, going back to your question, I'm not trying to pick on you, but you sort of raised your hand. So Ghost Branch asked, are you going to be putting the G4 on any new builds? I tried a FetTec flight controller. I've tried the FetTec F7 on Mr. Steele's build. And, you know, I flew it and I was like, oh, okay, here's what I think about it. Oh, man, am I going to be able to get this off easily? It's glued on there, but I bet I can get it off without too much trouble. Yeah, there we go. So people are telling me the KISS Ultra flies, it runs different firmware than the FetTec. Oh, it's so different. I don't know. I feel like if they're different firmware and they're different products, I feel like I should give the KISS Ultra a chance. I gave the FetTec F7 a chance. I'm curious. I'm not convinced. I'm suspicious that the G4 will not really fly any different than the FetTec F7. Anyway. We are on the wrong scene. There we go. I need a freaking monitor to monitor my scene. Crunk says 100% check out the Ultra. Maybe I actually had the thought today. I had a bad gyro on a flight controller today, and I thought I should put a KISS Ultra in this quad because I've flown the shit out of this quad and I know how it flies. I'm not going to say which quad it was. I'm not going to say which flight controller it was. But I was like, I should put a KISS Ultra in this and see if I can tell the difference. You know? How am I going to get this off? It's all glued. It's all glued on. That's great, except it's annoying. Let's see here. Ghost Branch says, oh, well, you know, that's why you've got one, so you can test it for yourself and see. That's true. And if I had infinite time, if I had all the time in the world, then I would test everything. There we go. The Cadix Polar Nano is free. And look at that. They cleaned. Can you believe they got all that blue gunk off of there? What did they clean that with? I can't even imagine. If you've never seen a naked Vista before, this is what they look like without all the heat sinks on them. That is really something. Anyway, got that off of there. Now, let's see what we're going to do here. I think probably what I ought to do is first I ought to stick it to the connector, and then I ought to put it in the canopy. Which way is this wire going to go? Kiss and FetTec fly better than Betaflight, says Phantom FPV. There, I said it. Phantom FPV, do you fly both FetTec and Kiss Ultra? And if so, do you have a preference? Do you feel they fly they fly the same? Or do you feel the one is superior to the other? Kmart FPV says, I just ordered the Happy Model Express LRS module. Some are pictured with the fan and heatsink, some aren't. Is that standard to their releases now? I don't think all of them come with the fan and the heatsink. The Happy Model module, I don't think so. I don't think they all do. Crunk says they are not the same. Let's see here. Bobby Baggis wishes. So yeah, so I went out today and I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll pick up a Kiss. Shit, which is the front of this quad? Crap. I'm going to guess it's this way. Yeah, okay. So I was like, well, maybe I'll order a Kiss Ultra and I'll see if I can put it. Maybe I'll do something with it. I don't know. They're all out of stock. You can't get them. So it's all wishful thinking. So then I went and I messaged Alex and I said, hey, Alex, do you have any idea when the Kiss Ultra might be back in stock? Yeah. Let's see here. You won't be laughing once you fly the Ultra. Yeah, maybe I should put the Ultra and the G4 in the same quad. Now is this is not threaded, so I can actually be screwing this in. Get this canopy in here. This canopy was printed on the Sovol SV04. The review came. No, it is threaded. I can't tighten that down anymore. Shoot. What if I back it out and then screw it in? Oh, these screws aren't long enough. Are they not long enough for this canopy? Yeah, this canopy is thicker. The screws aren't long enough. That's super annoying. I bet it's TPU. I bet I can squish it down. Crabtree says the other canopy was cooler. Crabtree, does this quad look familiar to you? I don't want to pull this screw all the way out. That's going to be so annoying. But I really want to get this nut on this screw, and that's also annoying. What if I just press down on the nut? I'm going to back the screw out and then try and just compress the nut down on top of it and see if it grabs. Yep, I think I got it. Oh, I got it. I got it. Yes. Okay. The black canopy may be better, but the black canopy is sized for a 19mm camera, and this is a 14mm camera. So there's no real debate here, folks. There's no debate here. It just is what it is. How are you supposed to get that screw on the front? The heck? That's not possible. How are you supposed to get that screw on the front? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, let's see who won the poll. Let me end this poll that I started earlier in the stream. End poll. End poll. Here we go. The poll is over. Let's see who won. Mike Bergman says your AIO board won't have any vibration damping now. What are you talking about? I didn't change anything, Mike. Because it's crushed down? I didn't change anything, Mike. I'll back the screw out a little bit. I'm pretty sure I'm on the FetTec Discord. Has anyone seen the 533 footy frame? I have not seen. Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Who won the poll, though? What were the poll results? Where's the poll result? The poll is gone. There it is. Steel is bigger in FPV, 66%. There you go. That's the answer. Now we know. We proved it definitively. Okay, that can't go on the back there because these wires are in the way. I think it will not really go. Maybe it will. It wasn't before. I'm going to get this other side on. We will have at least 2 screws holding this canopy on. That's all you need, right? Johnny's bigger. No videos in like 2 years and still everybody knows his name. That's a compelling argument. Johnny releases like 2 videos a year and blows everybody's dang mind. Oh, no, I did not just stab it. I did. Let's see if I broke anything. I hope not. That will be very sad. Come on. Oh. I hate micros so much. I don't know how Ciati does this all the time. I think he cusses at them too. We're going to back it out. We're going to hold it in place. We're going to press down on it until it screws through. There we go. Yeah, no problem. Piece of cake. Oh, where'd the net go? There it is. That. Get in there. Okay, for real this time. Come on. Bite. Yes, it got it. Yeah, perfect. See? No problem. Problem solved. And then we got this front one, and I guess that front one doesn't even have a nut. It just screws right in. Perfect. Yeah, problem solved. Justin French says, this is giving me anxiety. Giving you anxiety? No, look, see, it's all good. It's all good. Then we just got to mount the camera with the little M2 screws, and we are good. You ain't fixing something if you ain't cussing at it. That is, Dan, you are 100% right, Eric Toft. I don't think this back one can go on because these motor wires are in the way. So there we go. It's mounted. And I got to just get the side to side done right, but that's just going to be a couple M2 screws. It's no big deal. Good. Problem solved. Mystery D says he built the quad that I'm holding. That is my understanding, Mystery D. And now I'm effing it all up. Ha ha. Let's see what we got here. Let me check the chat some more. Oh, Mystery D, I acknowledge you, Mystery D. I acknowledge you. Steel is on the cover of Flow State, not Johnny. Ergo, Steel is bigger. Hey, I mean, that is a real accolade. To be honored by being on the cover of our film of our movie poster. Some say that rubbing alcohol gets that blue thermal paste off. I agree that it does not get the thermal paste off. I think you got to use stronger stuff like acetone or something. Where's the mounting holes for this thing? Oh, there they are. All right. So then we just need a couple of little tiny M2 screws. Those are all too long. What about my camera parts box? Oh yeah, perfect. Even 99%. Do not use acetone on your Vista. No? What'll happen if you use acetone on your Vista? Do tell. Mike Bergman. Do tell. I mean, you know I love to give out bad advice. This is what I do. I give out bad advice. Then people take the advice and F their shit up. And then I do an apology video and get twice as many views. That's what I hear the secret to success as a YouTuber is. Okay. Come on. All right, that's biting in. Good. Got a little washer and a little M2 screw. This is the spare parts from every camera I've ever owned. Should I have used the smaller screws? There's smaller ones. I wonder if I should have used the smaller ones. Acetone fumes is the working part of acetone, not the liquid. That's interesting. I mean, I'm certainly not in a position to disagree with you. Oh yeah, I should have used the smaller screw. All right, we're going to take this one back out. If you are ever screwing a screw into a camera and you feel resistance and the screw is not all the way in yet, don't keep screwing. You are about to ruin your camera. You may already have ruined your camera. Okay. Where's the diggity dang screw hole? Is that it? No. Sorry, I know you can't see this. This is a terrible stream because you can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Got it. Got him. It's screwed in. Look at that beautiful purple. Look at these beautiful motors. Kebab's freaking motors are just really gorgeous motors. Crabtree, why are you advertising for this? You didn't build it. It wasn't you who built it. I can't wait to fly them. I have a set of the 16 millimeter. These are the Bob's 13 millimeter motors. I have a set of the 16 millimeter motors for, I think, for my Gep RC Smart 3.5, and I have a set of the 21 millimeter motors to put on my shocker. I'm just going all FPV cycle all the way. Crabtree says he supervised. It was his employee who built it. You have employees, Mike? Come on. Get out of here. Turbine oil. John Goblin says turbine oil dissolves that stuff. All right, well, I'm not going to bind it and make you watch me power it up and bind it. That one we're going to call done. Thank you. Thank you, Mike Crabtree, for selling me this quad. He was like, hey, you want a toothpick? I was like, you know what? Actually, I do. I gave away my toothpick, my TP3. I still have the 1S toothpick that Kebab himself built and gave to me. I would never give that away, but I gave away the TP3 that I built. And then I kind of wished I had it back. What's the weight? I especially wished I had it back when the naked, the Polar Nano came out and I didn't have anything to put it on. Let's see the weight. Dry weight is 80 grams. 80 grams. Yeah. There you go. All right, we'll put this in with my DJI wires. And what is next on the list of stuff that I broke? Athix says you've done more in one stream than Ciati in a normal week. Ouch. Let's see. What's next? Oh, I remember this guy. All right, now this guy, this is a, oh, hello. Oh, big zoom out. This is a FPV cycle glide frame with Cricket motors. That's a JBF7 flight controller, but that's not a JB ESC. That's not an iFlight ESC. I don't know what ESC that is. And it has a JB RunCam camera and a Rush Ultimate VTX. It's one of my last analog. Turbine oil, JT Knives. Oh, that's really nice, JT Knives. I can't really show that on stream from here, but Mike Bergman, I do not have a repair service. I am so busy making videos all the time that I can barely. I have to repair my quads on stream just to trick myself into having time to do it. So I do not have a repair service. Buzzkill asks, should I expect any funky behavior if I mount my flight controller at a 20-degree angle to my frame around the pitch axis? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, that will make a problem. It will cause, if it's pitched forward at an angle, what you need to do is use the board alignment feature in Betaflight to cancel out that pitch. It will cause, if the flight controller is pitched forward, when it will cause pitch to roll coupling, because nope, come on, what are you doing? I pushed the button. Now you have to switch scenes. That's not useful. You have one job, Stream Deck. You have one job. What are you doing? How about that? Oh, great. Thanks, B-Man FPV, for a $20 super chat. I don't know why I'm not seeing those super chats over here on my laptop. So thanks, B-Man FPV, for a $20 super chat. Let me read the super chat. Got to watch Flow State yesterday. It was amazing. My wife watched with me the whole time, and she liked it as well. I think she's closer to understanding why I breathe FPV now. Wouldn't be here without your help. Thank you so much for that $20 super chat. So if you... Has this Stream Deck just stopped working? Is that what's happening? It has. Damn you. Damn you. You have one job. Hold on. All right, we'll try that. If the flight controller is pitched forward 20 degrees, then when you input roll, it will attempt to roll about its roll axis. So when you put a roll move in, what you will actually get is a combined yaw, pitch, and roll move. So if your flight controller is not sort of dead flat and level to the frame, you need to use the board alignment parameter to cancel out. That. Cancel that out. What is my... Nabbit. I'm not getting up every time I need to change scenes. It's ridiculous. But this Stream Deck is... You don't like having two Stream Decks hooked to the same computer or something. Should I run the JB Edition Phoenix off VBAT or the VTX 5 volts? Asks TTFPV. You will sometimes get cleaner video if you run it off of 5 volts. But it's fine off of VBAT as well. Restart the Stream Deck app. That's a fine suggestion. The one Stream Deck over on my desk is working fine. Are we happy? Let's see what it does. Nope. Stream Deck XL, Stream Deck. Nope. What are you doing? You cannot run a Vista on 5 volts. It needs minimum 7 volts. Okay, let's try again. Thank you, Pancho Games, Games, for 10 Mexican pesos. Let's try again with the Stream Deck. So this quad, I stole the receiver off of it some time back. I needed a ghost receiver for some reason. I didn't have one, and I stole the receiver off of it. So all I need to do for this guy is get a receiver and put it on. Well, you can ask a question. I just don't see a question, Pancho. You go ahead and ask a question, Pancho. There's no question attached to your super chat. I'm not, like, it's nothing personal. It's just a fact. It just says 10 pesos. There's no question. Go ahead and ask a question. I'm here for you. The other thing I need to do is I need to move this receiver off UART1. Because if you have a receiver on UART1 TX, it's okay on RX, I think, but on TX, it will prevent the JBF7 from going into bootloader mode, because it thinks that you want it to go into bootloader on UART1. Is it on UART2 already? No, it's on UART1. So that's annoying. Because on this quad, UART2 is taken up by the camera. What am I going to do? Pancho Gamez. I'm still waiting for your question, man. I don't want to miss you. Yeah. So on a JB, so it's fine if you're using S-Bus. This is why we didn't catch this. Because in the manual for the JBF7, we say to put the receiver on UART1. And I thought to myself, why didn't we catch this? Because Ghost and maybe Crossfire. I don't know why Crossfire didn't do it. Ghost and Spectrum SRXL2 both trigger this condition where the flight controller detects traffic on UART1, and when you put it in bootloader mode, it goes into bootloader on UART1 instead of on the USB port. And then you so the only thing to do is to power that receiver down. I don't know why Crossfire doesn't trigger it. Maybe it does. I don't know. But you gotta. I guess I should switch the camera to UART1. No, the camera might also trigger it. What the hell is UART1 good for? Pancho Gomez. I want to buy the Mark IV 4K analog. What do you think about it? Is that the GEP-RC Mark IV 4K analog? The GEP-RC Mark IV is a great freestyle quad. The Mark IV 4K comes with... What's the HD cam that it comes with? I'm looking right now. Mark IV 4K. No, that's the Mark IV HD. What's the Mark IV 4K? What's the Mark IV 4K? Does it come with like a Caddx Tarsier or a Runcam split or something? Yeah, there it is. It comes with a Caddx Tarsier. So the GEP-RC Mark IV is a great quad. The Mark IV 4K with Caddx Tarsier is not a spectacular split-style camera. If you don't want to carry a GoPro, fine. The video out of the Tarsier, is it a split style or is it a single lens camera? I'm looking right now. I don't like the split style cameras that have a single lens. Let's look. Caddx Tarsier. The Tarsier is a dual lens. Okay. Since the Tarsier is a dual lens, I wouldn't steer you away from it. But it wouldn't be like my first choice. I don't think the video quality that comes out of those split-style cameras is very good. Ciati likes the Runcam hybrid, but it's not like the worst. And the Mark IV is a good quad. Ghost hybrid, Ghost Atto receiver. You know what? Do I have an Express LRS receiver? Oh, they need TX and RX. That's annoying. Where's my Express LRS receivers? I guess I'll do a Ghost. Fine. Ghost auto receiver. Hang on a second. Whoop. There we go. All right, we got that super chat. Thank goodness. Yes, Brandon RC, there is a script that takes the black box gyro data and puts it into the video file so that it can be stabilized by the GyroFlow project. Alrighty. So what do we got? That signal is going to TX. Yeah, it's just 5-volt signal in TX. Piece of cake. And let's see here. Signal, yeah, ground, 5-volt signal. Okay. I'm going to live dangerously, and I'm going to solder on top of this flight controller. No, I won't do that. That's too risky for even for a live stream. All right. Soldering iron is heating up. I'll take a question while soldering iron is heating up. How does the black box erase 30-second mode work? GemFan Hobby, the black box erase 30-second mode, it erases the data flash that for flight controllers with a data flash chip, not for flight controllers with an SD card, but for flight controllers with a data flash chip, the data flash chip, the erasing process takes a fair amount of time. They can write very quickly, but erasing it actually is really slow. Why is that? I don't know. I don't really know. Just the way they work. So that's why you can't do a first in, first out queue with the black box data. You can't have it just hold the last, whatever, 10 minutes. It's always the first 10 minutes and then it stops or whatever, however many minutes it is. So the black box erase mode literally erases the black box data and clears the chip. Otherwise, it will flip. Otherwise, it will just stop recording when it fills up, and that'll be the end of it. Did I mess this up? I did not. There are these tiny, tiny capacitors right near there that are so easy to knock off. Mr. D says, for some reason, black box erase via the SpeedyBee app is instant. So, Mystery D, I mean, the speed to erase the chip, like, my understanding is it is a function that is managed by the chip itself. And just the command is sent to erase the chip, and then the chip erases itself. I'm going to guess that SpeedyBee just doesn't make you wait. But if you were to give the command to erase the chip and then quickly power the board down, I would bet you the chip would not be fully erased. I don't think that, I mean, I can't rule it out, but I don't think that RunCam like found some trick that no one else knows how to erase the board quicker, the chip quicker. Because I've encountered this question before when people ask, why can't we have the black box log record like the last 5 minutes of data? And so that when you land, it's always, it just erases the old data as the new data comes in. And the answer is that it cannot erase quickly enough because of limitations. All right, let's see here now. Let's try not to screw this up. Let me get a tweezers. See, normally I would lean, damn it. Damn it. Normally I would lean way in and look close so I could see what the hell I'm doing. I need a magnifier. Since I'm on the stream, I don't want to get my head in the way so you guys can't see. You can't see what I'm doing though. Ground. $5 volts. signal. Bada bing, baby. We got these fancy schmancy locking UFLs that Ghost is shipping. Isn't that cute? Super cute. Jesus. What even are we doing here? Come here. Now I gotta like pull on it. How does this even work? I'm gonna damage it taking the frickin' locking mechanism off. Okay. Goodbye. You're fired. Goodbye, locking limitiger. You're done. I'm gonna have no locking. Whatever you are, you're out of here. It's so cool that you did that. I'm gonna damage my UFL trying to unlock it. I will now receive a personal email from Tony Cake offering to show me how these work so I don't malign them on a live stream again. I know how they work. This one is just being weird. Okay, great. Now it's just a UFL connector. Okay, there we go. There we go, boys. Okay. Now, let's see here. Have I got a... Oh, I don't have a battery, but I do have this power supply, this P200 power supply. So let's plug that in. And let's power it up. And we will set it to... Where's the controller? Oh, look at that. The Ghost module is even in my controller already. Isn't that pleasant? All right. Power up. And we are going to go bind. Bind and setup. Protocol Ghost. Start bind. And we will set this to, let's say, 15 volts and power on. No smoke, no smoke. And... binding in progress. Now this thing should auto bind. It does not seem to be auto binding. What is it? What does that mean? What does that blink sequence mean? Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. Can I press this button? What does that blink sequence mean? Uh-oh. Let's abort binding. Have I wired it up wrong? I don't think so. Ground, 5 volt, signal. No, it's wired up correctly. Huh, that's weird. Oh, now it's being normal. Press button. Bind. Binding mode, please. Bind. Bind and setup. Start bind. Oh, there we go. Firmware update. Well, I don't know why that didn't work the first time, but we'll just sit here and wait. Well, it does this little firmware update, and I will take some questions from the chat. Time to flash Express LRS on that Ghost hardware. Binding? What is this, 2020? Express LRS has binding phrases. We don't need to bind. Oh, you guys. That blink combo is... I don't know what the blink combo was, but it's fine now. Did I damage the Ghost RC module for not having the antenna on for one flight? Asks Quarryman0. Quarryman, I believe that Immersion RC, like they make the video transmitter safe to have on with no antenna. It won't damage itself. So I'm going to guess they did the same thing for the Ghost module. I think you're fine. You're probably fine. All right. We are bound, and let's just see if it's all... No, it's not working. I got to go into the computer and change this from SRXL2 to Ghost, so I will not be able to arm. No. All right. I'm not going to do that on the stream. but I will finish putting this guy back together. Oh, I'm getting so much done. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Somebody needs to tell me why that quad sounded like Mario. Because I have custom BL Heli startup music on the quad. Yeah, if you have BL Heli 32 ESCs, that is something that's built in. If you have BL Heli S ESCs, you can flash the Blue Jay firmware. Just search for Blue Jay ESC flasher or some variant of that text. And you flash the Blue Jay firmware, and it will also let you have startup music on your BL Heli S ESCs. All right, we're going to turn that back. We're going to tape it up. There we go. Yeah, you can do that too. Startup music is a standard BL Heli 32 feature, and it is also in BL Heli S if you have the Blue Jay firmware. And we're just going to twist this around a few times. Is there a custom sound to say stand back? So BL Heli 32 ESCs don't speak that I know of. They don't have the sufficient whatever kilohertzes to make speech. I mean, not that they couldn't do it, it's just that I don't think they do. They just make music. KISS ESCs used to be able to speak. I'm not sure if they still do. I bet they still do. They would say things like, you know, D-shot or multi-shot to tell you what protocol your ESC was doing. Bye. Get that out of there. All right, how am I going to mount this? I guess I'm just going to use double-sided sticky tape. Crabtree, why is 25 MMOB? 25 meg? Does Blue Jay have bidirectional D-shot like JESC? Yes, it does. If you have BL Heli S ESCs, Blue Jay is, I mean, JESC and BL Heli M, and there's a bunch of firmwares out there you could try, and they all have, they're all, like, none of them are bad, but Blue Jay, I think, is, if I had to recommend one, it has, I think, like the most features and is free and easy to flash. So, you know, what more could you really ask for? Put some double-sided sticky tape, put this on top of the VTX here. Oh my God, he's putting his receiver right on top of his VTX. What is the world coming to? Oh boy, should I tell you? Oh no. I should really have... Dagnabbit. I wish I had passed that through this hole before I had taped it all up. Dagnabbit. Well, that's disappointing. So, oh, Chris Rosser is having a fever dream right now. Look at this. Oh my God, look at the resonance. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do not, Chris Rosser says, do not do this, for the record. Am I going to have to take this all apart? I'm not going to have to desolder it, thank God. But I am going to have to cut the tape off and redo the antenna. Flip. Mike Crabtree says, the first time you go to pull out of a dive and you're sure you're going to hit the ground and then you don't, you will love the FPV Cycle Imperial motors. And Mike, if I had to sum up the advantage of the Imperial motors, that's a great way to do it. They just have such great sort of low-end grunt and you know, control and linearity, or whatever you want to call it, that it feels like when you do a big dive and then try to pull out at the very end, they're so good at that. There we go. The only issue is finding music for Blue Jay, says Athix in the Discord. That's true. There's a ton of BL Heli 32 music out there, like on YouTube. If you search for BL Heli 32 music files, there's a ton out there that you can find and just copy paste. For Blue Jay, there is not as much or any. This this antenna holder was originally for Crossfire, and I'm just too lazy to... There you go. See? Perfect. Look at that. Oh my God, look at it rattling. Oh my God, the vibrations and the resonance. Somewhere, look at this. Ha, ha, whoa, whoa. Chris Rosser be damned. This quad probably fly like shit. In a week, I'm going to be like, vibration troubleshoot. And you guys can remind me that I was making fun of Chris. I'm not really making fun of him, you know. It's all in good fun. The tape that I'm using is Kapton tape, for the record, for people who don't know what Kapton tape is for. It is a heat-resistant tape used in certain kinds of soldering and hot air rework, and I like to use it as heat shrink because I'm lazy, and it's a pain in the... It's a little bit of a pain to do heat shrink, to pull out a heat gun and find the right size heat shrink, and heat shrink is heavier. You know, we all know I'm very, very concerned with weight. Not. Anyway, there we go. See? Good as new. Any recommendations for... Oh my God, Crabtree. I was about to read your question. I was taking you seriously, man. Yeah, oh, and I do in fact have the receiver wires going over the gyro. Yikes! Oh my God, now that's just unacceptable. No, that's a... I've been converted to the church of don't put the receiver wires over your gyro. That's a fact. No, that is legit. That's legit. My problem that I had with the 533 switchback, where I was running the wires over the gyro, convinced me that, like, you get away with it 50 times, and then the 51st time when you don't get away with it, you're like, oh, I'm never doing this again. So let's run these wires underneath the flight controller so they are not touching the gyro. Say a prayer to our Saint Chris Rosser. May the vibes be non-resonant. May the vibes pass the low frequency cutoff of our low pass filter. May his arms be stiff. May his accent be pleasing. No, for real, FPV says in the Discord, I have an Attitude V6 with rapid fire, and the screen went black while powered up. Receiver and goggles still power up, just get no video feed. DVR will not turn on at all. That feels that when you say DVR won't turn on at all, that to me feels like a goggle problem, not a module problem. You could easily test that by putting the module in another set of goggles if you have access to another set of goggles, like through a friend or something. I think I would contact Fat Shark and tell them that you got a set of goggles, and tell them what happened, and tell them the DVR won't turn on. I suspect they will ask you to send back those goggles for them to maybe replace the DVR board or something. Yeah, that is what I think. We've got some super chats that come in. Crabtree FPV wants to know if I saw the Sonic Hair, Bob's new 5-inch frame. I have not seen it. Harry Props FPV says I missed a few super chats at the beginning of the stream. I got two $20 super chats at the beginning of the stream. Where if there were more, I didn't see them. They didn't come up on my computer. I apologize for that. I think I got them though. Harry Props, thanks for a $5 super chat. 0703s would have a higher stator volume than 0802, right? I mean, 0703, we would have to do the math. You're going to make me do math on stream. That's always risky. 0703, so that's going to be 7 in diameter, so that's 3.5 radius, pi r squared, so 3.5 times 3.5 is 12.25, times 3.14 is 38.4. 0703 times 3 millimeters is 115 cubic millimeters for the 0703, and an 0802 An 0802 is going to be 4 squared is 16 times 3.14 is 50 times 2 is 100. So the 0802 is about 15 cubic millimeters smaller, but that's a pretty small difference. Then again, it's 10%, it's 15%, which is, that's not a small difference. So, all right, we got our receiver back in here. This is about to be a flying quad again. So that's exciting. Got another super chat here. I got another super chat here from Aber the Ham. Thanks for peer pressuring me to switch to Edge TX. I bricked my radio and it was your fault. He's joking. It's actually working fine and the touchscreen is awesome. The touchscreen is awesome. People say, oh, I got that backward. People say, the touchscreen, when are you going to use that? Can you say on-screen keyboard? Can you say typing in letters without having to scroll through that damn jog wheel a million times? Yeah, it's pretty nice. Math is hard. There are so many numbers and they just never end. Yeah, you're not wrong. Nobody makes 0703. Happy Model makes 0702 and 0802, says 661 FPV. Hey, I don't know. I just was answering the question that was asked. I like the touchscreen. I find that my workflow with the radio has changed since I got the touchscreen with Edge TX. That what I used to do with the jog wheel, I prefer to do now some of those things with the touchscreen. Some things I still prefer the jog wheel. It just sort of depends, but I don't stress about it. I just go with the flow. What is next on the to-do list? Harry Props says I missed a couple earlier super chats. I did get the two $20 super chats, but those were the only ones I saw. Uh-oh. This is finally worn out. Oh, man. I got to glue that back in. That's annoying. All right. Boom. That's 2 quads I have sort of fixed. Let me just make sure there's no super chats over here that I missed. So over here on this screen, oh, look, we're back at this screen. I have J.K. Arbuckle, which I read. Did I miss you, J.K. Arbuckle? J.K. Arbuckle, thanks for a $25 super chat. Thanks for helping you get my quad going. I'm not sure I would have ever figured it out, that twist to the Crossfire 69 without you. B-Man FPV, I definitely got you. And then there's Pancho Games, who we got. So I think we are caught up on super chats. If there are any super chats that are missed here, then I don't know. I don't know. They're not here. So I apologize for missing them, but I thank you for your donation. Okay. I mean, easily an 0702 is smaller than an 0802. Obviously, it's 1 millimeter smaller. Okay. Let's go back here. Matt Shonen, thanks for 500 yen. Flow state was a bad influence. I now always keep one spare pack charged up in my bag. Please make a video on how to correctly please the FPV god. Yeah, never fly your last pack. That's the moral of that story. What's next? Oh, here's what I want to do next. Yes. Oh, this is risky. I really should do this not on a stream. I'm not going to do this on a stream. I need to record this content for a video, but we'll take it out and look at it. This is the new 20 millimeter. Hang on. Dagnabbit! Stream Deck, what is wrong with you? Stream Deck, you're pissing me off. Oh, now we got nothing. Are you kidding me? The problem is the Stream Deck is on this 50-foot long 25-foot long USB extension cord, so it can get all the way over here, and it's being flaky. That's the problem. The Stream Deck is actually fine. There we go. That's what I was. Oh, you're pissing me off. All right, right, I got to get a new USB extension cord. That's the answer. Never fly your last pack. Is that akin to always keep one in the chamber? I don't think it's quite the same. Athix wants to know if Trappy will have some heartburn from the Jumper T Pro. I don't think the Jumper T Pro... I don't think any Jumper radio is going to give Trappy a moment's pause. The quality of TBS hardware is quite high. And Jumper is in just another league. Now, I do think that the TBS strategy meetings have to be at least talking about what Express LRS is doing to the market for Crossfire and Tracer. And publicly, they absolutely will never acknowledge that, in my opinion. They will just be like, yeah, F the haters. No, or maybe they'll say whatever they say, but they will never say, we did anything as a result of this. They will say, we chose to do what we did because that's what we were going to do anyway. In fact, we've been working on it for 6 months, a year, 2 years. We did it first. And, we just thought now was a good time to do it. Like, look what happened with Immersion RC Ghost. Ghost came out. 2.4 gigahertz, LoRa. And TBS was like, hey, we've been working on something for a while. Yeah. It's also in 2.4 gigahertz. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were doing that first, So, I don't know. I don't know what Express LRS means for Crossfire, but I definitely think that they've noticed and are paying attention. I don't think the Jumper T Pro, it's a Jumper radio. So, Jumper makes fine radios, but I think that TBS will feel that their reputation for quality will be sufficient, that it's not a threat to them. That's my take. So here is the new Sharkbite 20mm VTX. It is not that much bigger than 20 millimeters. Would it fit in this gosh darn thing? Because that's what I wonder. I think that it will. Yes, I think it's going to fit. That's going to be such good news, because if it will fit... Oh, no, come on. It won't... Oh. Golly gee. Oh, and it's M3 mount. Dagnabbit. I really wanted to take this and put this new race VTX in it so I could go back to the Slam Deck layout. And I don't think I'm going to be able to. Flippin' heck. I don't think it's going to fit. I think it's going to... Well, let's take the screws off, I guess, and look. No, I can already see that where I've got the capacitor isn't going to work. If that capacitor wasn't there, I bet it would work. Let's open it up and find out. It's a wide 20 by 20. That's right. You were right about that. I can move the cap. Yeah, I can move the cap if I need to. Didn't I say I wasn't going to do this because I need to record it? MK points out that TBS lowered their price in response to FreeSky. And actually, I have to acknowledge that they said that they were doing it because of FreeSky. So that actually, they said, we're just, we're not going to give them anything to hold over us, including price. But my statement that they would never sort of acknowledge that they had been driven to a decision by a competitor, actually, in that case, they were just straightforward and they said, we're not going to let them hold anything over us. Can I get this out? No, I don't think. Can this come off? No, I got to take the locking plates off. Are the screw holes under the black battery grip? I'm not sure if you are looking at the current thing that I am looking at by asking that question. You may be a ways back on the stream. Mike Crabtree points out, Diatone has a great new stack that's $65. Mike, I have been unimpressed by the Diatone basic flight control and ESC. I have heard some reports of people having failures with those, and obviously it's hard to know if there's smoke from fire, but I have not been super encouraged by the reports I've heard about the Diatone Basic. No news stream tomorrow. Why would you think that, FPV Dartian? There's a news stream tomorrow. Have I not got it? There absolutely is. I'm not going to go look right now. I'm pretty sure I've made it. Yeah, the Speedy Turtle says the $65 one is the Mark I version. The Mark I Diatone stack was quite good. The Diatone Basic stack I haven't been that impressed with. I mean, I haven't used it. I just hear reports from people. Flippin' heck. There we go. Don't want to mess up the... Oh, cool. I hope I didn't mess up the UFL connector. Yoicks. Okay. Well, it's probably fine. Okay, so the big question is it going to fit? I could move that capacitor, although to be fair, I struggled to find a place to put that damn capacitor. Will it fit under any circumstances? It's pretty tight, but I think it would. Camera in the front. This is, I can flip it around coming out. Yeah. And then I'm going to have to drill these out to M3 or use... Does it come with side... Oh! It... Does it? No, I don't think it does. Will these gummies take me down to an M2? That would be great. I don't think they will, though. So it's got M3... It's got M3 screws, unfortunately. And I don't have the little spacers that'll take it down to an M2 to mount on this. I'm not sure I want to drill this out. Let's take this capacitor off here and see what we can come up with. I'm also going to need to move this receiver. Oh, this is the bad part about using servo tape to hold stuff down, is sometimes it just literally rips components off the board. Let's see if it's happened. Nope, no capacitors there. Great. Make a print to raise it up to clear the arms. Right, because that's the... Damn it, you're right. See, the problem is my whole goal right now is to be able to move the arms back on the inside of the frame. And if I do that, then this will need to be raised up. Oh, blah. It's not the end of the world, but it is a pain in the ass. It is a little bit of a pain in the ass. And I'll have to redo the whole stack. I think I'm going to change my mind and do something else. Yeah. I just don't know if it's worth the hassle. See, my goal is to be able to get at these screws to change an arm without taking the whole thing apart. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to take the whole freaking thing apart. And then what? I'm going to still have a 200 milliwatt VTX. It's the exact same output power. What am I gaining? I'm not gaining anything. I don't think I'm going to do it. Okay. So what we're going to do instead... Oh, hello. What we're going to do instead is... That sounded like a good idea until I got into it, and then it felt like a bad idea. I'm going to get out one of these trays that I use when I'm in the middle of a project. We're going to put this guy in here. This is not going to go in the tray, because that's not going with this project. We're going to take all the spare parts. We're going to chuck them in the tray. And we're going to set the tray aside and forget that it exists for a little while. That's how we do it. And we're going to put this HD0 VTX back in the box. And we'll find something else to do with it. Yeah, also known as the F this shit tray. That's a very good way to put it. It's a great way. I have a bunch of these Sterilite boxes. It's a great way to keep all the random parts from a build together. When you just sweep them off your bench into the tray, and then you set it aside, and then all the random screws and bolts and stuff are all in one place for that build. So that's pretty nice. Should we change the camera view? I'd love to, except my freaking Stream Deck isn't working. Yeah. Oh. Mike Crabtree wants to know, what's the most interesting quad you own? Probably the quote-unquote 160 mile an hour quad from Phantom FPV is pretty interesting. Next up, the next quad that I need to work on. Let's see. This is an iFlight Nazgul with a broken arm. I don't even know if I'm going to fix it, to be honest. It's analog. It's a Nazgul. It flew fine. It probably has Mark Spatz's tune on it. It's just low on the list of things that I'm desperate to fly right now. So we'll set that aside. Okay. Yeah. This is good. Another box of F this shit. This is the FPV Cycle Toothpick, the 1S Toothpick, that I crashed in a box of metal shavings and ruined the motors. So then I bought a bunch of these 13mm motors as replacements. And what is this stuff doing in here? Why is this shark bite stuff in here? Why is this in here? Okay. That is breaking the rule of only put stuff from one project in each bin. This is stuff from the frickin' Tommy squad. This stuff doesn't belong in here. I have broken the sacred rule. But then Crabtree sold me his toothpick, and now I have one with the 13mm motors, so I don't need to do this technically. Are these the right KV? 11400 kV. Did I buy the right KV for 1S? I think that's the right KV for 1S. For 3-inch? Is that the right KV? Chat, tell me if that's the right KV. Now you got to put shark bite in it. Oh, interesting. I don't know about that. It's got to unify. It's a very good quad. I'm not sure. It's tempting. I don't have a 25 to 20mm mount handy. I could put that shark bite 25mm toothpick in it. Yeah. Yeah, 11.4 is 1S for a 3-inch. Will Sharkbite run on 1S? Oh, right. Good point, Mike. Sharkbite won't run on 1S, so I'm off the hook there. Yeah, metal shavings. That's right. That's how long this has been. Well, the thing is, these motors have been out of stock. Bob hasn't had any replacement motors for this thing. Metal Dirtskin says those little baby tooth quads cry out for Express LRS for minimal weight. You're not wrong. This thing has this crossfire antenna on it. The range on it is garbage. You cannot fly these little micro Immortals on 250 hertz. You cannot get any freaking range on them. Athix wants these baby tooth motors. Athix, the thing is, 2 of these motors are absolutely ruined with metal shavings. They are completely unusable. I mean, God bless you if you clean them out. 1, 2. That one might spin. I don't think it. They're just. I swept the floor of my barn, and it's full of like metal grindings and shavings, and then I crashed in it. Oh, this is going to be easier to solder to, so that's nice. At least this is Kebab's, I think it's the Z's flight controller, I think. And it's Kebab's 1S flight controller. Should I take the top off? I'm going to try not to take the top off. I'm going to try and be lazy about it. That always ends well. 661 FPV points out, funny how the Minimortal T on 900 megahertz has crap range, but Express LRS 2.4 has a has a similar size antenna and has great range. It just has to do with having the correct tuning of the antenna. The Minimortal is a... Ah, shoot. Is it a quarter wavelength? I think it's a quarter wavelength. I don't know, but quarter wavelength antennas don't have to be bad. I don't know why the Minimortal is so bad. Athix, you're welcome to the motors if you want them. I can't, you know, see what you can make of them. Yeah, the first time I flew one of these Minimortal T's, it was on a tiny trainer. And since it was a race rig, I locked it at 250 hertz, like, you know, like I do most things. And literally, I flew basically to the end of the field, maybe 100 meters, and I fail-safed. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to be on 50 hertz for the rest of the day. Crabtree, you use the Minimortal on your 5-inch. Are you running 250 hertz? Are you running 50 hertz? And are you running like 2 watts? That was back when the micro, I'm pretty sure my micro module was only outputting 250 milliwatts at the time. If you're outputting 1 watt or 2 watts, then the Minimortal may do better. Welcome, Daniel A-Rod. New to the FPV world and enjoying my videos. Welcome. Welcome, sir. Trappy says, don't buy the Minimortal T. It's trash. Get the True RX Flex one. Yeah, if even Trappy says that this product is trash, I'm going to go with this product is trash. 150 hertz. You run 150. Sorry, I said 250. I meant 150. You guys knew what I meant. I am tempted to put Express LRS on this. I tell you, the main reason I'm not going to is that I'm not actually sure I have a... I'm not sure where my EP2 receivers are. Like, I have a box of them somewhere. I have like 2 or 3 of them, but I'm not actually sure. And I don't want to take a bunch of time on the live stream to look for them. So let's just swap the motors on this guy. Let's see if we can zoom in, get closer. Get a little closer, don't be shy. Get a little closer with Arid Extra Dry. Oh my god. Wow. That's a deep fucking cut. That is a deep cut. Wow. Well, Athix, you're going to get at least 2 good motors out of this. Jingles have gotten worse. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll say this. The music in commercials has gotten better since the 90s. But it's not jingles anymore. It's like just songs. Tell me there's something better than by Menon. I don't even know what the fuck Menon is. Tell me that. What are you doing? Will you flow? Will you flow? Thank you. Oh my gracious. Why do people fly micros? Why would anyone... This is so dumb. I really feel like I should be paying someone in a foreign country to do this for me. This is kind of micro soldering. Just doesn't feel right. Why a foreign country? Because it's too expensive to have Americans do it. Duh. Well, that's not right. That's offensive. Hey, that's a fact. I'm sorry. You can't be watching this stream and act like, I only buy American. No, you don't. You're not in this hobby. It's just an acknowledgement of the way things are. There we go. See, I did it. Buy a microscope and they look like a beast class. All right, Athix, these are your motors. Enjoy them. If you actually manage to clean these out, if you manage to get the C-clip off without destroying it, I'll be super impressed. But, you know, I think at least 2 of them are usable. So just DM me and I'll get these to you in the mail. Thanks for being a patron, Athix. Haha. You guys can get free motors extremely rarely, too, if you sign up for my Patreon. If I just get 10 more patrons, I can finally hire someone to build my quads for me instead of having to do it myself, like Johnny FPV. Do you think Johnny builds his own quads? I don't know. Maybe he does. Alrighty. Oh. Crabtree's a patron. Crabtree, I think you're getting your money's worth in business. I think we're even. You might owe me something. I appreciate your patronage, Crabtree. Crabtree signed up as a patron. He joined my Discord server. The first thing he did is he went to the buy sell trade page and said, "Hey, I'm Mike Crabtree. I do some work. If you need a quad built, just let me know." And the moderators came to me. So you know, Mike, they're watching you. I had nothing to do with this, for the record. The moderators came to me and they were like, is this that guy on the live stream who you were like, hey, be careful with your advertising? And I was like, yeah, that's him. And they were like, he just posted over in buy sell trade. And I was like, yeah, you know, I guess I can see it. Nothing wrong with that. He's going to build quads for people. Why not? But they're watching you, Mike. The moderators are waiting to see what happens. So, you know. I'm sure I just keep hearing that Mike does good work. If Mike Crabtree built you a quadcopter, I want you, don't tell him you're doing it. You just email me privately and tell me what the experience was like. You know. So far I've heard good things, so you know, hey, pay it forward or whatever they say. Those are some long motor wires. Yes, sir, they are. I'm going to cut them down. Don't you worry. I can't believe how thin this carbon is on these little 1S toothpicks. Like, I can't believe it doesn't just freaking shake itself to death. I can't believe how long these screws are. That screw's too long. Athix says he loves building micros. He's a masochist for that crap. Yeah. There you go. They are some sexy motors. Now, some people say that Mr. Steele is the only one who is allowed to sell white motors. That he was the first to brand his motors as white, and now FPV Cycle is ripping them off. And I say, because the color white No one owns the color white. Yeah, flippin' drama. Flippin'. Alrighty. Now, how am I going to get these cut to the correct? First of all, let's take these screws. I'm not going to throw these screws out. These screws I'm going to get rid of. These are the button head screws, and I'm not going to like go out of my way to save those. Cap head screws I like a lot, and I always try to save them. But button heads I'll sometimes get rid of. Like button head M3s I'll keep somewhat. And these, man, you guys, this is like, I would pay $6 for a box of 15 of these all by themselves. Look at these cool little things. Like, that's so useful. Keep your motor boxes, for God's sake. Okay, that's a bonus right there. Jory, I will not be reading your comment on stream because I'm trying to be nice. But I think your comment is funny. White paint weighs less. Let's see here. Bardwell would have a field day with my leftovers from the dispensary. There is no way I can solder this on stream because it's so small. I can't understand how I'm going to get in here without like really leaning in, and you guys are not going to be able to see what I'm doing or anything. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. Like, what would Ciati do? Ciati would just dive in, right? So we're going to put a little flux on here. Where's my flux pen? Hold on, let's clean up my bench. Let's clean up the bench. How many quads do you have? Asks Phantom FPV. Hanging on the wall right now, Phantom, there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then in the drawer behind me, there's probably another 5. I would say currently I have 25 quads, not all of which are flying. I'd say I'm somewhere in the range of about 25. Where did my dang... There it is, my flux pen. How many do you have, Phantom? I bet you don't have 25, but I bet you have a number. We need a 25 millimeter Bardwell motor. I'm not making a motor, Crabtree. I'm just flying the FPV cycle motor. Could I make a motor better than the FPV cycle motor? No. All right, well, what's the point? I'm not saying that, like, I just give up. Like obviously there are times when you want to do something either because you just want to do it for your own reasons. Great, do it. You don't need justification for doing things. There are times when you maybe you won't do it better, but you'll do it different in a better way or something. But like, there's so many good motors out there. The Zing motors, there's so many good motors, and I'm like, where is my energy going to do the most benefit for other people and be the most enjoyable to me? And when there's already spectacular motors out there from guys like Kebab, guys like Zing, even some, there's lots of good motors is my point. RC and Power, T-Motor, I've heard the latest batches of T-Motors have been a little not so good. I don't know. My point is there's a ton of companies out there and people out there making spectacular, great motors. I made the 2407 motor with Get FPV with Luminaire because there wasn't a 2407 motor being made, and I wanted that size. Or there weren't a lot of them anyway. And I wanted one to my specific specs. But these days, there would be no compelling reason for me to make a motor. I would bring nothing to the table that other people haven't done better. I would distract from the people who are doing it better and take attention and money that they deserve. And I would much rather just do other things with my life. All right, here comes the soldering. Oh, man. So then she grabbed the tweezers and she said, I have to get the microscope, it's too small. Jesus. I would enjoy this more if it wasn't on stream. And it wasn't self-conscious about the fact that you guys can't see what the frick I'm doing. I gotta think like Ciati. I gotta just not care what the stream thinks. Right? Oh, okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, I believe. That's freaking ugly. Look how ugly that is. Oh my god. I'm going to get some tape and just tape that down. There you go. Get some of this fabric tape and tape it down. Oh no, it'll add a gram. It's going to add a gram of weight. Yeah. Phantom FPV, Dr. Bardwell. Did you say how many quads you had, Phantom? And I missed it? 2407 for life. Phantom, you fly 2407s. You have. The thing is, I could have more quads than that, but I give a lot of my stuff away every month. I hate the idea that I might end up with just piles and piles of gear that I don't use. And so every month I try to look around and go, which of this stuff is just sitting there that you're like, I might use that someday, and you never will. And I try to just give it away or sell it. Mostly give it away. So I try and keep the number down. That's my excuse for not winning the competition of who has the most quads. Damn it. I have to have the most. I mean, I give it away on my Patreon page. It's not entirely altruistic. A lot of them are specific. Like one of them is the quad that I bought, that I use for testing cameras, and it's got a DVR on board, and it just sits there, and I never fly it except when I need to test an analog camera. So I'd say, let me see. There is a, I think that, so I'm looking right now, there is an iFlight Nazgul that I put a Vista in, and then I put the FPV Cycle Emerald motors on, and it's not currently flying because the FPV Cycle Emerald motors are buggy. I might put Imperials on it, but then I would have a Nazgul with Imperials on it, and I would rather put the Imperial motors on the JB. I should switch scenes. Oh well. I'd rather put the Imperial motors on QAVS. So I probably will end up ripping the Vista out of that quad and retiring it. Then there's a Diatone Roma F5 Mark II. And that quad is my go-to when I need to do some freestyle, like to test a camera. There's a Diatone Roma F5 Mark I. I don't know what that's for. There are 2 QAVS's with Imperial motors. There is the, what's that quad? The BOA. The BOA free cell quad that was sent to me, and somehow I still haven't broken it, so that's probably an endorsement. There's a Moon Goat, a Cricket build with a Moon Goat. It's a Moon Goat frame with Cricket motors and JB electronics. There's the Rotorite HD1 that Rotorite gave me when I first became a cast member to shoot episodes with. Still have it with the air unit in it. There's Phantom. There's your 160 mile an hour quad still up on the wall. The Shocker 4-inch, the Tiny Trainer, the Evoke analog, and one 533 switchback. There's another 533 switchback in the closet with a broken camera. There's the Toothpick and the, yeah, that's most of my flyable ones. Thank you, Samwise Gamgee, for $2 I did not see the drone show fail in China. Thank you, Rapid Aerial, for $10. Thank you, Harry Props FPV, for $5. Why does yaw seem so much slower than set rate at 0 throttle? Doing inverted yaw spins, rates all at 1100. Tried air mode, dynamic idle, increasement throttle. Harry Props, I'm going to guess that the reason is that the motors can't spin down. There's a limit on how fast the motors can spin without like affecting altitude, and so it limits your yaw authority. But I'm not sure. I'd have to test that out because like I've done 0 throttle yaw spins and I didn't feel like it lacked a lot of authority. But I don't run super high yaw rates either. So I don't know about that. Oy, oy. I gotta really get in there. You guys are not going to be able to see this, unfortunately, but there you go. Do I like the Sedora? The Sedora was very good. What's my least used quad and why won't I get rid of it? I have a Rotor Riot Shendrone Squirt that I keep. Because I have this idea that I should own a Cinewhoop. And that's like the OG Cinewhoop. But in reality, I almost never actually do Cinewhoop shots. And it's probably not even like the Cinewhoop to choose anymore. So I keep it because it feels like I ought to have it. But I never use it. All right, we're going to have to concentrate here and not damage something. Let's see if I can get in here. Woo! Ooh, that's tight. That's tight, boys. Let's see if I can get in there and get it. Clean that tip. Okay, good. 1. I'm not even watching the clock. Is it 10 o'clock yet? 2. Oh, flip. 3. Okay. Did I? Oh, no, I got it right. Rapid Aerial FPV, thanks for another $5. I'm not seeing any messages there, so I hope that's your intent, is to just send donations. It is, oh, it's 9:53 p.m. Oh, no, for real FPV, thank you for sending a picture of your JB Xylo build. That is a beautiful, beautiful build and a great photograph. I would show it on stream, but I'm not at my desktop, so you'll just have to accept my personal gratitude and compliments. Let's see here. What's my go-to 5-inch freestyle prop? JRFPV, thanks for a $5 super chat. How did I not finish installing? Did this motor fall off? Did I not finish screwing all the motors on? For real though? I have a JB prop, the Gemfan Hurricane 51477. That is, I mean, like, clearly I have to say that's my go-to prop, right? It's, to be fair, though, this is why sponsors hate me. To be fair, though, I developed that prop. I selected that prop. I shouldn't even say I developed it. It already existed. And I just settled on it as my favorite. That happened when I was flying the 2407 motor. No, that is too long. Is that too long? Dangnammit. That is too long. That's too long of a screw. Let's not ruin any motors. And I'm not sure that that 2407 prop is actually the best if you are going to fly the Imperial's Bob Ruge's motor. Bob says that the Imperials are ideal with like a 5.1 or a 5.2 inch low pitch prop. Now that's never 100% been my style, so I'm not sure I agree, but it's worth pointing out that the prop that has my name on it is not the prop that I selected when I wasn't using the motor that I'm using now when I settled on that prop. I still think it's a good prop for that motor, but I don't fly that motor anymore. Focus! I need a focus puller. That's what I need. Oh, come on. Don't be stripped. Don't go in crooked. And don't mess up this wire. All right, we're just sending it, boys. Well, if it was stripped and cross-threaded, now it's never coming out again. Sweet. Oh my goodness. It is 9:56. We're going to wrap up pretty soon. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I work on quads. I know that I probably didn't read as many chats as I normally do when all I do is read chats, but I hope you enjoyed the change of pace. We will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. with the news. There was some question as to whether the news was happening. What makes me wonder if I forgot to schedule it. But we'll rest assured, the news will be happening at the normal time tomorrow. And is Ciati here? There he is. Ciati is going to be streaming. Hey, Ciati, I did your bit for a while. I did your bit. I worked on quads. And cussed. Did you guys ever notice that leaded solder fumes smell sweeter than unleaded solder fumes? If you ever noticed that, then you need a damn vent hood or a vent fan. Oh my god. Get in there. Oh shit. Okay. 1. Oh, I should have worked from inside out. 2, 3. Okay. I also should have put flux on there. Okay, here we go. Going in, boys. 3 out of 4 motors. The 1S Toothpick hasn't flown since I crashed it in the barn into a pile of metal shavings. We're going to bring it back to life with these new 13mm motors. Ah, dang it. Oh, dang it. Come on now. Oh, I can't have that solder joint. I got to go back in and redo it. No one will know, but I will know that the joint is garbage. And I cannot live with it. There we go. But Bardwell, all your joints are garbage. You don't know how to solder. Shut up. Your soldering is trash. Your builds are trash. Your piloting is trash. How'd you even get in here? You can't talk to me like that on my own stream. Oh my god, what am I doing? Alrighty, guys. It is 10 o'clock. I'm going to do this last motor off stream, and I'm going to let Ciati start his stream. Ciati's posting a link to his stream. Thank you guys again so much for coming out. Thanks to everybody who left a super chat. If I did miss a super chat, I don't think that I did, but if I did, I apologize most sincerely. And have a great stream, Ciati. I hope we can get this Elgato thing figured out, and then we're going to do this again. We're going to do it upright. Look how beautiful! Look how beautiful that is with the white, with the black tape and the white wires. Oh my God! Come on, FPV Cycle. What the hell? Have a good night, everybody. I'm gonna go stop the stream. Bye. Y'all have a good night.